Hi everyone, welcome back to this series of PMP practice questions. This one in particular, we're looking at the PMBOK Guide 7th edition, the absolute latest edition of the PMBOK Guide, or currently as of filming anyway. But also, it's a really great way to prepare for your exam. All of this stuff is still so relevant and will be relevant for many years and many decades to come. These questions will also help you learn the way that they show them on the PMP exam, scenario-based, a little bit tricky, and also we're heading towards a more agile way of working in the PMBOK 7th edition. Let's get into these 10 questions. You've been planning a project for the last 2 months, gathering requirements and scope, and assigning tasks to a schedule. As you get closer to the execution phase of your project, you need to decide what delivery approach you will use. The requirements are likely to change, require a medium amount of compliance, that's good to know, but can be released in one go. What will you do next? So we're sort of needing to change and update things, but we've got release in one go. That sounds like an iterative approach where we're iterating towards success and then releasing in one go. It's not incremental, where we're releasing increments at a time, and it's not waterfall, where we're just planning all the way up front and then releasing in one go. So that's where it is in the middle there, and I see it's not predictive. Incremental is probably our one. It's not really agile or adaptive, and it's not, iterative. Iterative is the one, sorry, because we're iterating towards success. I always get them confused as well. A little bit tricky, but it's not delivering increments. So let's go with answer D. Fantastic. Gathering feedback and improving over time while delivering in one release is an iterative delivery approach. Incremental releases increments of value like features. Predictive plans everything up front once and then delivers in one go. And Agile gathers feedback and releases incrementally. And we've got page 141 under Tailor for Your Project, Product and Deliverable in the PMBOK Guide 7th edition. Wonderful way to start. How did you guys go with that one? I thought that was pretty good. So now we're starting to get into the delivery approaches. Very important stuff. What have we got next? You've been asked to make a process improvement in the accounting area for your organization. You have been assigned a small team of 9 people, sounds promising, each with all the skills you need to complete the project. This sounds like a very agile way of work so far. The team is co-located, even better, and have unlimited access to the project customer. Okay, wow, this is just the perfect agile scenario, I think. How will you tailor your delivery approach? Wow. Okay, or what sort of delivery approach are we going to use? Okay, by the sounds of it. So use predictive, probably not. Agile adaptive, sounds perfect. Incremental, I mean, yeah, we could deliver increments, but this one's going to be better because it has everything. It's iterative and incremental is an agile way of work, so we're using both. We're getting feedback and delivering features. Use a hybrid delivery approach, that's waterfall plus agile, so that's not for now. So I think for our purposes, let's go with answer B. Excellent work, all right. An agile or adaptive delivery approach works best when the team is small, fewer than 9 to 12 people, has close access to the customer, is cross-functional, so everyone has the skills required, and some extra skills, so that they can do other jobs as well if needed, and is co-located in the same space so that we can learn by osmosis. You will have heard that a few times in this series. Predictive is best when lots of planning is needed. Hybrid is best when there are 2 different approaches needed, and incremental delivers features over time. Page 141 under Tailor for the Project Team in the PMBOK Guide 7th edition. Wonderful stuff. And we're certainly getting through them. Let's see what we've got next. You have been working as a project manager in an organization for some time, where an agile-centric delivery approach and way of work has been selected and tailored for the organization. Good stuff. Over the past few months, you notice several things are not working and could be improved as you begin new projects. What will you do next? Okay, so what do we do when things are not working in an agile team? Usually if we don't problem solve, we hold a retrospective or something similar. So I wonder if there's something here like that. Review the product backlog to see the flow of features going through the teams. Not really necessary for what we're wanting to do here. look into issues, threats, and quality assurance statistics, so defects and things like that. I don't think that's really going to help. I mean, that might be part of the problem-solving approach, but we need to get a more broad range of ideas and solutions and feedback on our way of working. So suggested retrospective, I think that's probably going to be our one, with our PMO leaders to determine ongoing improvement opportunities. So what worked well, what didn't work well, can we take actions on the things that didn't go well, and we can improve them over time. Review a control chart and value stream map to see non-value added activities and remove waste in the process. That's also a really, really good answer. That's probably for our problem solving, and it's going to be a process improvement approach. So, that is actually quite good. Agile centric though, that just might be one part of the problem solving that we do as part of a retrospective, where we're going directly to the source and asking for feedback and improving as a team. Let's go with answer C. It could be either one, but let's try answer C. Okay, pretty good, lucky. In an Agile environment, holding a retrospective to gather what is working well and what is challenging us or could be improved is the best way to find ongoing improvements. So yeah, this can definitely work. It's still a good way to do it, but the best way is close in person, place and time with our retrospective. Under page 151, tailoring diagnostics for Agile teams. Pretty good. All right, how did you guys go with that one? Let's see what we have next. You have been working on a project to deliver a new customer data system and have noticed that the work is starting to slow down. Fewer user stories are appearing in your sprint backlog as they are not ready. Okay. And you hold a retrospective with your team. Good thing. Maybe we'd previously read the last question and we got a few tips maybe. And we discover that there are long delays waiting for requirements and acceptance criteria approvals. Okay, what will you do next? All right, so how are we going to speed things up? Long delays waiting for those requirements and waiting for those approvals. So, that's definitely not a good thing. We can problem solve this and improve it. So what do? Do we streamline approval decisions through fewer people, such as a product owner, authorized to make decisions up to certain value thresholds? Oh, that actually sounds very good. I really like that one, actually. It makes sense too. Let's see what else we have just in case. Ask your team to place the user stories in the sprint backlog, reducing the need for customer approval. That's probably going to end in tears. I'd probably prefer to work with the customer directly and closely. I think that's the whole point of Agile as well. So we can always be getting that feedback, make sure the requirements are right, make sure the development acceptance criteria is right, and then the developed item is right, and then the test criteria is correct, and then the ultimate product is correct as well. So happy days, customers always involved and happy. Note the long delays as a risk to your project with a high likelihood as it's already happening. Probably more of an issue if it's already happening, as we would know. So maybe a no for that one. Escalate the issue to the functional manager to ensure approvals are happening quickly. I think we could escalate it, but is that still going to solve the problem? So we still need to problem solve this and manage it ourselves as project managers. I think not the best answer, that one. Let's go with that one. Answer A, I think, is our one. Excellent work, all right. Where there are long delays or waiting for approvals, the tailoring suggestion is to streamline decisions through fewer people, authorized to make decisions up to certain thresholds, at certain value thresholds. And don't forget, that is directly from the PMBOK 7th edition. So, any questions, you can go directly there. It's page 151, Common Situations and Tailoring Suggestions. Go and have a nice read, some good bedtime reading there for sure. But this way, we're sort of getting the information directly, which is also nice. How did you guys go with that one? All right, we're nearly halfway through. Let's keep going. You have been assigned to take over an existing project as the previous project manager leaves for another opportunity. In working with your team, you notice that there's a large amount of work currently in progress all at once. Oh, I think we've tackled this before. With team members working on multiple items at a time and constantly context switching between tasks. And we've spoken about that. Then it takes time to get back up to speed on the next task, doesn't it? And then they leave that one and then they go to the next task and then they have to get back up to speed on that one as well. And all of that getting back up to speed is time lost. And it also takes people out of the flow state, if you're into deep work. So, all of these things, many different things. I could talk about this for days, if not weeks, but we haven't got time for that right now. What are we going to do next? Add more people to the project. Okay. If we add more people, then that actually might complicate things. We prefer small teams for a reason, because there's fewer communication channels and there's fewer ways that we can get mixed messages. So it's much easier to manage in a small team. So let's put a no for now. Use value stream mapping and Kanban boards, I like that one, to visualize the work and brainstorm solutions with your team. That definitely could be it. But a Kanban board will help us visualize that work in progress. So then we can limit the work in progress. Typically that's something that comes from Kanban, because we can see it and we can easily, only have 1 or 2 cards per person in progress, for example, so they're not having to context switch. Ask your team to work overtime or to cover the extra work and bring it all back in line. Obviously, and again, we've spoken about that, working overtime is the opposite of a sustainable pace. So we want a sustainable pace so people don't have to work overtime and then take sick days and get disengaged and then come back and work overtime. And it's that hurry up, stop, all of that, that just ruins the flow of work again. We want a nice flow of work. So that's a no for that one. Review the scope of the project and reduce items with low impact to customer satisfaction. Yes, that's a good practice. So that's actually a decent answer as well. But I think the best answer for our purposes, getting rid of that context switching, keeping a low work in progress, let's go with answer B. Okay, good. And again, a few different answers that could be correct there. You will see that on the exam. It can be a little bit tricky, but we want to choose the best answer for us. Where there is too much work in progress or high rates of scrap, it's recommended to use techniques like value stream mapping and Kanban boards to visualize the work, identify the issues and propose solutions. Adding more people can also complicate communication and processes. And you'll probably see that happen in your real life and career many times. Page 151 in the PMBOK Guide 7th edition under Common Situations and Tailoring Suggestions. Really good stuff. All right, we're halfway through now. You're doing great, guys. Keep going. The product owner has prioritized the product backlog of features, and the team creates user stories with estimates and places enough of them to fill a 2-week sprint. Very nice. You notice that the pieces being completed are being rejected by the customer. Okay, that's not so nice. For defects and missed requirements. What will you do next? Okay, this is great. We've got so many really good scenarios here and stuff that you're going to find in your day-to-day job even better. Really great fun. Okay, what do we do about this? Create the project scope from scratch and with the project team and customers so it's correct. Okay, so we're suggesting we work together but we burn it all down and start from the ground up. I think there's probably a better way to do it than that. So let's put a low maybe for that one for now. Have an iteration 0 planning sprint with your project team to set it up for success. Oh, okay. Yeah, look, you will hear that term a lot, iteration 0. I think there's way better ways to do it. So look, what people suggest is you have this empty iteration that is just for planning. But really, we want to just be working and getting in that flow state and getting work flowing through the team straight away. And so there's way more to this that we could again talk about. One, because requirements take a long time usually, or a longer time to figure out and get solutions for. And then it's broken into pieces and those pieces take a couple of days to complete each. So the work is done at different rates. It's not really done in an iteration 0. Something to consider. You will definitely see this in the real world when you're working in your career in corporate worlds. And let's put a big fat no for that one for now. Add more feedback loops. Okay, that sounds all right. Such as shoulder checks, peer review, that sounds good. Unit testing and system testing. Okay, obviously all of these sound good. And this is testing and quality at all levels. So we want the requirements to be correct. We want them to be peer reviewed to make sure the customer is okay with those. Shoulder checking of the of the development and the code. Unit testing of the single items. System testing of the system as a whole. If we're doing all of those things, now we're catching a lot of those issues before they become issues. and it's less costly for us to catch them earlier at the requirement stage, and then the longer it goes on, the more costly it becomes to catch and fix those defects. Something else to consider. So that's a pretty good answer. I think we'll put that as a high maybe. Have less frequent customer demonstrations, so they only see the product when it's correct. For our purposes, we want to be working with our customer all the time, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We need them to see what's being delivered so they can give their feedback on it. So we want that feedback loop. Let's go with answer C. Very nice. When a product is facing poor quality deliverables, the tailoring suggestion is to add more feedback loops or feedback verification loops and quality assurance steps, including things such as demonstrations and reviews, peer review of the items, shoulder checks, pair programming, working together with someone else close, quality audits or testing, unit testing, system testing, user acceptance testing, regression testing, and automated testing as well. Definitely a big thing in Agile. So all of those things, what a great combination. Page 151 under Common Situations and Tailoring Suggestions, directly from, again, the PMBOK Guide 7th edition. Wonderful stuff. All right, how did you guys go with that one? I think a little bit more complicated, but still pretty nice and really good learning as well. I'm having a bit of fun. I hope you guys are too. All right, let's see what we've got next. Your project team has started to find their rhythm. Excellent. Yet you notice that they seem disengaged. Okay, there's always a catch, isn't there? I always think, oh, this is going well. Oh no, something happens in their work and they're dragging their feet on normal tasks. Okay, this will happen. You check your project budget and note that the team are all paid fairly for the market and within the same range for the role. Okay, that's a good thing to check. And as you will see, it's not always and even rarely about the pay. So as long as the pay is roughly fair, then engagement for your team actually comes from many other different factors, not just the money. Yeah, once the money is taken care of, it's everything else, and there's a lot. So let's get some tips from this particular question. This should give us some ideas. Look for ways to reward the team members with bonuses above their normal pay rate. So this is just throwing more money at it. And again, it works for a little while, but then it wears off very quickly. I've seen it time and time again. Let's put a no for that one for now. You know, it's nice, but again, not the best answer. Move team members around to different roles frequently so they experience job variety. So variety in general is pretty good, except if we're moving around into different roles, we're losing that expertise and we're losing that progress and we're losing that flow state in the job and in the work as well. So when you get really good at something, you easily get into the flow state. You can do it, with your eyes closed, much easier. As long as it's not boring, then that flow state is a very good state to be in. So yeah, look, we're getting pretty deep into this stuff, actually. Gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. Okay, I should probably stop waffling on. Give the team a paid day off. Okay, more pay, and again, you'll see this happen all the time. Executives will just throw money at things because they don't have any other tools. They actually don't know what else to do. So let's give everyone a paid day off. Again, everyone loves a paid day off. Who's going to say no to that? But it wears off so quickly. You come back to work and the work is still not good. So it's probably even worse. Now you feel even worse about coming back to work. Okay. All right. I hope the last one is good here. Establish ways for the team to grow and advance. Okay. That's progress. Progress, there's been studies on this. So people who are having a sense of progress, whether it's real or imagined, that's why you see levels. So people getting different levels, from beginner to medium to advanced. This is why computer games, are so can become addictive because you're always making that progress. It adjusts for your skill level. And again, like I said, I could talk about this for hours. Career paths, learning pathways. But all of that to say, that's one aspect of it. There's probably 20 more, but I think let's go with answer D for now. Okay, all right. And here's the study, actually. This is good. So Frederick Herzberg conducted a study of motivational factors in working life and found there are hygiene factors. So company policies, make sure they're fair. Salary, make sure it's fair. Physical environment, make sure, we're not, in danger and it's not a dark dungeon. There's light and water and, enough, that it's nice. And then there are motivational factors. So once the hygiene factors are taken care of, then people want to, then the way to motivate people is through these extra factors, motivational factors, which are achievement, growth, and advancement. If the hygiene factors are insufficient, they cause dissatisfaction. But if they are sufficient, then use motivational factors to provide satisfaction. Paying bonuses or a paid day off might seem like a good idea, but will fade and not address the root cause of the engagement. Page 158, and again, this is direct from the PMBOK guide. It's a smaller guide than the PMBOK 6th edition, but they really go into a lot of this, leadership, psychology, pretty good stuff. Hygiene and motivational factors. And wow, I had a lot of fun on that one. Maybe too much fun, I think. We've got 3 to go. Let's get into this. We're starting to run out of time now. Okay. You're working as a project manager on a regulatory change for your organization. You notice that the team are not communicating as well as they could be, and you put together a plan to improve team communication by increasing its effectiveness and richness. What will you do? All right, good question. Include methods that will, I love this actually. I know what this is too. I've seen this. Team communication, effectiveness and richness. I think this is directly from Agile from Crystal, and I'm doing something on this. You're going to love it. Crystal, Alistair Coburn, I think his name is, one of the original guys, from one of the original methods that fed into Agile. And he had different things that fed into effectiveness and richness of communication. So it's like natural language and stuff like that. And the first one is straight away. Include methods that will handle multiple information cues. So body language, voice, words, all of those things combine to give you the message. If you're just sending an email, you lose 90% of that as well. You've heard that before. Facilitate rapid feedback, very important. Are they on the same page as us? Utilize natural language, so none of this jargon or fancy other language. I think that's a really good one. Include methods to escalate issues quickly, with executives being open for anything the team needs. That's actually pretty good too. It's nice, but I think directly it's this one. Include ways to get sign-off in writing so it can be recorded and reviewed later when needed. Sounds nice, decent idea. Nothing wrong with it necessarily. Include communication that ensures everyone gets a voice and input into decisions. These are all nice answers. Very, very nice, but I think directly what we're looking for with that effectiveness and richness, let's go with answer A. Excellent work, all right. Alistair Coburn, there he is. Really, really good stuff to read actually on Crystal. Developed a model that describes communication channels along the axes of effectiveness and richness. Media richness includes the ability to handle multiple information cues, rapid feedback, establish a personal focus, and utilize natural language. For example, face-to-face communication, co-located teams, as we'll see many, many times. Page 157, under effectiveness of communication channels. Wonderful stuff, really, really good. 2 to go, you're doing great as well. Let's keep going. Your deliverables have been signed off by the product owner and they're ready to be released to the customer, which is the financial analytics team of your organization. The new system will be quite a change from their normal day-to-day work. The team already have the desire to use the new system, so what will you do next? Okay, it's going to be quite a change. We're releasing something to this organization. The team already want to use it, so they already have the desire. This sounds like it's a change management framework to me. So do they need a vision and the why? They're already on board, so they already agree with it. That's a good thing to do, but not for us. Use training and education to show them the new processes and systems. They have a desire to use it. We need to show them how to use it. I think that's actually pretty good. Give them unlimited hands-on practice so they can get used to the new system. I think we need to train them first, so let's try that. Include rewards, recognition, feedback, and measurement. Once we've released it to them, let's do that. So let's do that after that. But this one first, I think. Answer B, I think that's going to be our one. Excellent work, all right. The ADKAR model for change management, and you'll see this quite a bit in change management. Awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. Once people have the desire for change, the next step is knowledge, which includes training and education for the new processes and systems. Page 161 under ADKAR model. And a lot more change things, a lot more change management coming into project management these days. You'll see a lot of it going around. But what else will we see going around is the last question from 1 to 100. And there are some more coming after this, by the way. But 100, you've made it to 100. That's a pretty impressive feat. Really, congratulations. Let's do this. Last 1 out of 100. Amazing work. You are leading a large organizational change that affects more than 1,000 people across multiple teams. You've engaged with the senior managers of that area, created a brief vision statement that summarizes the change, and created a strategy to realize the vision. You communicate the vision throughout the change process. What will you do next? Okay. Release multiple usable features to the affected teams so they can get used to it gradually. I think there's got to be a better answer than that one. Anchor the changes. So this might be, where are we up to in another change process? I think it is. So we're communicating the vision, we're creating a strategy to realize that vision, but we haven't necessarily performed that yet, I think. So anchor the changes into corporate culture. So we haven't done it yet, so we can't really anchor it into the culture yet. We can't tell success stories and we can't recognize people just yet, so let's put a no. We could release multiple usable features, but I wonder if there's anything else. Address any obstacles to the change. I think that could be good, including outdated processes and people resistance. So we've got a vision, we've created a strategy. Now let's figure out what the obstacles are towards that change, address them, and then release. I think that's actually pretty good. We don't want to release before we address the obstacles, right? Otherwise we could end up, it just could be a bad situation. Set goals for continued improvement on the change throughout the organization. I think that happens later again. I think our best one is probably going to be addressing those obstacles first, then releasing it. Let's go with answer C. Excellent. All right. John Cotter's 8-step process for leading change, you'll see that a lot as well, is a top-down approach. Create the urgency, form a powerful coalition, create a vision for the change, communicate the vision, remove obstacles, create short-term wins, build on the change, and anchor the changes in corporate culture. So that's the way that they go. That's the step-by-step what we can do for that change. After communicating the vision comes removing obstacles, page 162 under the 8-step process for leading change. You have done an amazing job getting this far, and also doing all of this together, working on these PMP questions. I truly believe with this practice and with this work that you're putting in, you can pass the PMP exam. I genuinely believe in you and I believe in what you're doing. You're doing the right thing. Not only that, I truly know that you can do it. We're doing it together. I hope you've enjoyed these questions. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.